This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Wasn't me, cries out Kalanya. TV denies links to the money trail, claims that the IT department knew about the transactions. But Amma is not buying it, trains her guns on the DMK's first family, argues that they should be probed as well. Double murder case rocks the city. Mylapore is on the edge after the incident shocks the locals. Chirping birds give way to loud cries by shopkeepers. Kalakshetra colony is fast turning into a chaotic commercial hub. Milk producers continue with the unrest, demand a hike in the milk prices. After a close call in South Africa, Stain rubbishes Master Blaster's hopes of lifting the cups, equates India with controversy, complaints of loud fans.
Sachin Tendulkar winning the World Cup would mean what?
It mean he's dreaming.
Rajni now scores with the bestseller. The book Panchatantra, inspired by Rajni's one-liners, reaches the 5,000 mark. Get ready for a whole new musical journey into the lesser-known temples of Chennai. A very good evening to you and welcome to Headlines Now with me, Ashmit Kumar. Let's have a look at stories coming in from across the country. Sipul tells NDTV that Arun Shoury's allegations now that the Prime Minister did not act on his complaint are baseless. Rules were tweaked to help Tata Teleservices during the NDA regime, says the Justice Patil report. In a second announcement in 24 hours, the Egyptian military tries to placate the protesters, says that they guarantee fair and free elections. And how skipper Dhoni sat on the other side for once, with the media as players giving interviews. Well, on to our top story. As the 2G saga unfolds, a talk of the money trail has hit much too close for comfort for some members of the ruling alliance. And the line of investigations being pursued by the CBI has put Kalanya TV on the radar. Now keep in mind that the CM, the Chief Minister's family, enjoys a majority stake in this channel. And the investigating agencies are looking into a 214 crore transaction with Cineyug. However, Kalanya has denied any links with the 2G scam and said that Cineyug had indeed invested in its shares earlier, but owing to valuation differences, it was treated as a loan. The channel clarified that their 200 crore rupee loan has been returned with interest in 2009. Now, Kalanya TV said that there was nothing illegal about the transaction because they had followed all the rules and the Income Tax Department was made aware of these developments. Well, as I said earlier, this issue has hit too close for comfort for some members of the ruling alliance. In fact, what we are learning right now is that the Chief Minister, the DMK Chief Karunanidhi himself has actually come out in the open and addressed this one issue. And for more on that, let's go across to our political reporter, Lokpriya, who's joining us live over the phone line. Now, Lokpriya, again, this really, again, some impact story, this one, again, making an impact on the Chief Minister himself. What really has Karunanidhi said out to the media in the context of this one development here?
Exactly, Ashmit. This is the first time Karunanidhi is actually coming out in the open about this whole 2G allegation and also about the links of Kalanya TV with the 2G allegation case. He has actually said that the reports are there in certain Tamil media to see, and the explanation of Kalanya TV is there for everyone to see, and he wants nothing more to comment on this further matter. So that's exactly the statement that he is saying. If I could say that, he says that the explanation is already there in Tamil ladies, and please do read that and do not ask mischievous questions after reading that. So that's the word that is coming in from Karunanidhi, the DMK patriarch. And also on whether Amma asking the family to be investigated. Remember, Amma earlier this morning said that the DMK family members as well as Karunanidhi needs to be named as co-accused in this particular case. And for that, when a question was raised by a reporter on that, he said that I have a family, so she's asking me this, but she does not have a, but she's saying that, but do you have a family? So it's kind of an open-ended question where you do not know whether he is addressing the reporter or to the Jayalalitha herself. So it's kind of very tricky in a sense there. So in a sense, he's coming out clean and he's claiming that there is no link between him and the Kalanya TV and the 2G scam. So he says that mischievous questions should not be asked. So that's the word coming in from the DMK patriarch. The first time the reaction is coming after the story was reported in the media. Ashmit?
Well, Lokpriya, as you pointed out, this is the first time that he is addressing this issue. But but looking at it from a slightly different perspective, again, he's known to play around with semantics, and he so did at this juncture as well. He's not really taken on the question head on. He sidelined it, saying that the message is already there in the Tamil media. But really, with the Chief Minister not addressing the question directly, do we see that as a sign of perhaps a weakness, a sign of concession that is being given by the Chief Minister here?
Yes, Ashmit, DMK patriarch Karnanidhi is known for playing with words, and yes, again here, he is not answering the question head on. He is not answering to the specifics of the question, to the heart of the matter. So, in a sense, that we can say that he is being, he is playing it very, very safe over here. So, it's left for us to interpret as to what can be read from that. So, you can't actually say that he is playing it. He is being silent, or it's a sign of weakness. But knowing the DMK man, knowing the man Karnanidhi, I'm sure that he is going to come out with a strategy of how to put things placed together and make sure that this whole 2G saga will not hit the election campaign. Remember, even when Raja was accused and even when Raja was arrested, he supported Raja, and he said that they will not let this affect their whole issue. So now that this links between Kalaignar TV and this whole 2G thing is established, I'm sure he's going to have some trick up his sleeve to make sure that this whole thing does not affect their poll propaganda. We are now again telling the viewers here that the Kalaignar response to this whole saga of this Kalaignar TV link to the 2G scam, the DMK patriarch saying that there are reports in the Tamil dailies and you can read that. Please do not ask mischievous questions. So very clearly, the DMK patriarch is playing with words and playing it very, very safe. So it's left up to an interpreter as to interpret it of how in his or her capacity.
Right, Lokpriya. Thanks for joining us with those latest updates. We'll obviously come back to you for more details on this one critical development here. The Chief Minister, for the first time, coming out and directly addressing the media with regard to the Kalaignar TV, that it has been put on the radar courtesy of the CBI investigations. Well, moving ahead, earlier, the DMK spokesperson TK Salangovan had denied any knowledge of money flow from the DB group to Kalaignar TV. He also maintained that the party was ready to face any challenge.
Today the Supreme Court has told, CBI has told the Supreme Court that DB group's money has reached Kalaignar TV. Anything, any reaction?
I don't know. I know nothing about it.
Okay. But is the party prepared to face it, to come clean?
Whatever comes, party is prepared to face it.
Well, the leader of the opposition was not staying quiet. She has said that the DB group paid kickbacks to Raja and Karnanidhi indirectly. Now, the AIDMK Supremo further added that Karnanidhi and his family members should be named as co-accused in the 2G spectrum case. Jayalalitha also fired salvos at Shahid Balwa, saying that he had transferred nearly 210 crore rupees from 11 companies to Kusega Fruits and Vegetables, and that they transferred 206 crore rupees to Cineyug Films. Now, she pointed out at Cineyug's balance sheet, saying that it shows an unsecured loan of exactly the same amount, 206 crore rupees, to Kalaignar TV. Well, our senior editor Radhika Iyer joined us with more insight into the money trail that has put the TV channel in focus.
DB Realty is known to be a player in telecom. They're far away in Mumbai. They're not dealing with banking or funding. So why really was DB Realty approached for a stake, or rather perhaps loan of a humongous sum of more than 214 crore rupees to Kalaignar TV? That seems to be the big question and the big connection really that the CBI is trying to track at this trail. However, with the CBI now trying to probe whether the money was indeed repaid with interest by Kalaignar TV, seems to indicate that the money trail then falls flat, and the CBI is still saying that they're trying to get documents, but it is very important now to get hands-on the financial documents of Kalaignar TV. The reply seems to be convincing. However, the CEO of the company, Sharath Kumar, who remember is the erstwhile Maran brothers friend, who now owns a stake in fact in Kalaignar TV, about 20% stake, comes up with this reply which legally may put Kalaignar in a very safe position. However, the financial books need to prove that. We need to get photocopies of those financial books, which may perhaps try and explain really why DB Realty in this entire deal, and was the money in fact really paid, and in how many installment, and what exactly is the proportion of the repayment of loan and the turnover of this company called Kalaignar TV Private Limited.
Well, as the investigations into the 2G scam go deeper, more skulls are coming out of the corporate closets. The latest to stand in the line of fire is a member from the Tata stable, Tata Teleservices. Now, in the latest revelation from the Justice Patil report, the Tata Telecom major was one of the main beneficiaries of the stipulated procedures being twisted during the NDA regime. Now, the report alleges that the rules were manipulated to suit certain corporate interests. Now, the report also gives a detailed picture of how Swan Telecom benefited during Raja's tenure as a telecom minister. The report says, and I quote, "The telecom officials raised doubts over Swan Telecom's equity holding. The telecom officials also questioned Swan's eligibility twice in January of 2008. Now, the report also mentions Telecom Secretary S. Behura overruling objections. Behura, according to the report, said that Swan fulfilled all the eligibility criteria. Now, importantly, the report also stated that the minister, not mentioning Raja at this point, approved of Swan's application. The report also shows talks about how the Tatas benefited during the NDA regime when Arun Shourie was in charge. And while speaking to NDTV's Barkhadat, Kapil Sibal raised the ante against the telecom minister during the NDA regime, Arun Shourie, dismissing Shourie's allegations about the Prime Minister. Kapil Sibal challenged the former telecom minister to prove his charges.
Under your watch as telecom minister, the Justice Patil committee. Now, your friend Arun Shourie says that this is a perversity, this committee. He calls you an advocate for A. Raja. He says that Justice Patil did not call one person to interrogate, to question while he drafted his report.
I must be a very poor advocate. That
he might say that.
The person who I'm advocating for is in jail. The person who I'm advocating for, there's a one-man committee that I set up, which has castigated the functioning of the ministry at that point in time. I must be a wonderful advocate that I'm going against my own client, but be that as it may, I think he must be angry.
Why would he be angry?
I don't know. You have to ask.
But he raises an important principle, yes, which is that should the Justice Patil committee have drawn up its report without questioning people?
Exactly. Now, what has he found? He has found that the first come, first serve policy itself is contrary to a cabinet decision of 31st of October 2003, right?
Yeah.
And that the first come, first serve could not have been put in place by the then minister. That's what he has found. And that new entrants in the telecom sector had to go through a multi-stage bidding process, as was the cabinet decision.
But the fact
That's
is,
what he has found.
But the fact is,
now in that you don't have to look, go to any, you don't have to interview any people, because this is all part of documentation.
Arun Shourie says that you apparently said that the Prime Minister was informed by A. Raja of every decision he was taking at every time.
Forget about Arun Shourie, please. I mean, let's not. What Arun Shourie said, he must prove. Right? If I am fabricating anything, he must prove it.
But there is
and the channel that set it out must say what I fabricated.
Okay, so let's leave Arun Shourie on one side.
Let's leave all this, because all these things are said sometimes, at the moment.
Moving ahead, milk producers are demanding a hike in milk prices, strike a comparison with prices of water. We get you more details about the statewide unrest on the other side.